I know a lot of people could see a title like this and say, "What the hell are you talking about? Where are you getting this from? That doesn't make sense. Every man's responsible for his own actions. This is his friend. This is his brother. This is his twin that was killed." I'm speaking of King Von, of course. I promise you, by the time you get to the end of this video, it'll make more sense. You'll understand a bit more. I also want to throw in real quick before I get to the main title. I see narratives that come out online, and just because I like to bring stuff onto my platform that I feel I catch and I see out there, whether I agree or disagree with it, and let's have an interesting back and forth about it. Two narratives. One, shout out to OTF Bezu, right? Bezu from Lil Durk's camp. Always seemed like a solid guy. I watched his interview on No Jumper podcast. Speaks very well. Seems intelligent as well. I seen him put out a post, and the post that he put out about his boy Lil Durk getting arrested, it got legs and it became a narrative on the internet. His post pretty much said, "Why would a day one pay another day one for murder?" Basically. So if I rephrase that, if I have a best friend over here, right, and somebody murders my best friend, do I need to take another one of my best friends and pay them to retaliate for this best friend that we all have in common, right? So I see that narrative got a lot of legs from Bezu, and I think that is logical to a degree, but I want to offer different logic. When I read that and I saw people just jump into that, because I feel like Little Dirk has a lot of fans and they just want to find things on the internet and say, yeah, right, innocent from that. And I'm not using this point to say innocent or guilty. Once again, I'm just using logic to create good conversation on the podcast for us. I could use a real street situation. Anybody ever heard of the name AR Ab before? That infamous interview that AR Ab did sitting on the couch when he's sitting next to Dark Low and he's talking about his situations with Cassidy. What does he clearly say there? He said, "Yo, I caught a whole body for you and didn't get a dime from it. Didn't get paid for it. You didn't give me no bread for the situation. I caught a body for you and fought a body for you." Anybody question AR Ab's street reputation or street credibility? No, they don't. He's probably one of the most certified hardcore street reputations to come out of hip hop, right? And he's sitting in jail right now. Behind what? Allegedly sending shit around just like Little Dirk. So yes, friends get paid for hires, even if they're day ones for murder for hires and killings, right? All the way up through the mafia, right? Some of these people attend each other's weddings and birthdays. They love each other, right? And it'll be your best friend that still gets a bag for offering you. So let's not act brand new. I seen another narrative. Lil Durk, when he was in LA during the time of Lil Pop shooting, Quando Rondo's best friend, when they shot up his truck at the gas station, he was really there for a podcast. I say a lot on my shit, on my platform. I say these people ain't stupid. It's like that's the alibi that you want to have a high priced lawyer try to use in court. He couldn't have been involved in any of this because while he was in LA, he did a podcast. While he was in LA, he was really there to promote. First of all, people could also walk and chew gum, right? People multitask. I could be here for a murder for hire. I could be here for a podcast. I could also go to In-N-Out Burger, get some of my favorite food. I could check the shorty down the street. I could go to the club, do a walkthrough, pick up a bag. People can multitask. When you put me in a certain place, I might try to do all the type of shit, you know what I'm saying, that's accessible to me and make the most of my time. Like, and especially if it's gonna what I think add to an alibi, put me on camera on a podcast, and I'm just freestyling this shit. But I'm like, people say this and they just believe that you can get this type of shit over on people. It's not. So those are two narratives that I saw on the internet, and I was just like, all right, it's interesting to me. Let's talk about it. Sorry, it's true podcast. But why do I say 6ix9ine, might be the reason that Dirk is in jail? The slide for Vaughn, whole narrative that's being brought back to the internet, a lot of these old videos, is all these videos are like going reviral again. All these clips, all these shorts, all these pieces on Twitter and Twitch. And we all see the puzzle that's continuing to be put together right in front of us. We see it. The slide for Vaughn thing. And it's interesting. I saw somebody in the live chat early say, academics mentioned this. yesterday on a stream, and I commented back on the live stream before I joined. I said, "Well, sometimes great minds think alike." And I've seen a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot of times. I've seen a bunch of times of narratives or ideas or things that I say on my stream on other podcasts as well. But I don't necessarily point at them and say, "You took that from me." Sometimes great minds think alike, and sometimes you have similar ideas, right? But I can further that by saying, if you go to my first stream when Lil Durk first got arrested and we woke up to the news, I did my first stream covering the topic. What did I say at the end of the stream? I asked the question, would Dirk's personal life be in jeopardy? Would his life be in jeopardy? Or would his career be in jeopardy if nothing happened behind Vaughn? I asked that question, right? So let's double back as all these clips are coming up. We're going to increase the murder rate.
When I die, my niggas is gonna slide every day.
You did?
Cat, nigga. That shit is cat. Who slept for King Von yet?
Let me speak on 6ix9ine when he first got arrested. Oh, I shouldn't say when he first got arrested, when he first came home. It was very clear for me to see his campaign. It was like two-sided, two pieces to his campaign. He wanted to pretty much prove that all these other rappers were similar to him, because he basically, there was no way around it. You told, you ratted, you violated the ultimate street code. And if you're in hip hop, these street codes come with it. These street principles come with it, because you're rapping about gangster shit. Gangster rappers are assumed by the fans to be practicing street code and street morals, right? So when he was doing all this street shit and doing all these videos of being a blood, and he came out with gummo and everything, and he had the streets behind him and real shooters, and we see him on videos putting out hits on people. I got a 30 or 50 pack or whatever. And then Keith Chief gets shot at, his hotel gets shot at in Manhattan and all this type of stuff. It's some gangster shit going on around 6ix9ine. And he's the money. It looks like he's calling shots. Looks like he's a blood. He's flagging. Ain't nobody doing nothing about it. There's a million bloods in these videos. Okay. Gets arrested, find out he's an informant, people get locked up behind it. He sits down for a second as well, finishes his time, and then he comes out. When he came out, his campaign was like, y'all would tell too. So anybody else that would get anything remotely close to directly or indirectly telling, he was on them. That's why he was on Gunna. He's trying to show the public, like, look at your favorite rappers. They're just like me. Right? They're just like me. That's one thing he tries to show people. Another thing he tries to show people, part of his campaign so that he can survive with his reputation post coming back home from jail, was that these rappers are talking about stuff that they're not really like, because y'all say that I'm not really that. Y'all say that I'm an image. You say that I'm a troll. You say that I'm fake. Look at your favorite rappers. Your favorite rappers is rapping about, oh, if this happens, we're going to slide, we're going to do this. How come? This was his campaign. And I said it's twofold. It's really three. He also had to attach himself to anything that was just like big news as well. Right. So if you have, King Von shooting, if you have Lil Durk controversy, he was attaching himself to that type of stuff. He really is one of the biggest trolls of all time. Right. And he understands marketing. And let's be clear, he's still more successful to this day, more than a lot of these rappers, these struggling rappers that's out here. He might be doing it overseas, but he's made a lot of money, and he still is making a lot of money, and he's still landing fresh deals, right? But that was his campaign. Now, when I talk about the popularity of 6ix9ine, I think that time moves so fast and the internet moves so fast, and we forget things so easily. I think we forget how big 6ix9ine's moment was. We forget when 50 Cent and all these people are putting themselves next to him. You got the whack 100 of the world getting brought under fire because he's a pyro, and he's going on podcasts like $1 million worth of game with Gilly and Wallow, and they're attacking him like, yo, why you doing business with a rat and all this? And Nicki Minaj came under fire. She got the whole hip hop world attacking her for a second. Like, hold on, you're in hip hop. Hip hop upcodes street codes, right? You talk some gangster shit sometimes in your raps too. Why are you doing a song with a known snitch? 6ix9ine was that. This guy, do you remember how big his live was when he came out, his first live? He broke Instagram, damn. His first video? Don't make me pull up the views of his first video when he came back home. And this is once again like the way that the internet is so infatuated with snitches. He pretty much kicked all that off, the infatuation of snitches. All these people, all these podcasts and all these interview platforms, they started reaching out to ex-gang members, ex-gang affiliates, ex-mafia affiliates, known turncoats and snitches. A lot of that riding the wave in the momentum of 6ix9ine. That's how the internet works. 6ix9ine had this whole algorithm around him, and everybody was tapped into it. I think we'd all be lying, and it hurts to say because we like, damn, he's pretty much a mockery of our culture. It hurts to say it, but let's be real. There was a point in time where 6ix9ine was the biggest rapper in the hip hop culture. So with him also being a troll, with him also having his narratives, with him also having his post come out of jail agendas, right? This is the energy that he created around Slide for Vaughn. I'm just painting a picture of how big Slide for Vaughn became, and he was the catalyst of it.
Man got shot, you made a diss track. Go get a gun and get some get back.
That's just the clip that I used for this video because I didn't want to play the actual song and have this YouTube mess up my videos. It's a whole song with a visual to it that went all across the internet, all throughout hip hop. This man boldly was on Lil Durk's heels, something fierce. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're not done.
They know the exact nigga that put a fucking 10 bullets in King Von and he died there by himself. Why nobody slid for that nigga? So what is Dirk doing? He's not doing shit. Before you leave Miami, you call Dirk and get him in the same room as me, make it happen. They know the exact nigga that put a fucking 10 bullets in.
I'm telling you right now, the biggest trolls in hip hop history got to be 50 Cent, Charleston White, and 6ix9ine. 50 Cent, he trolls, but he stands everything that he trolls. So it's like a different version of trolling. So I kind of don't even want to put him in this bucket. Charleston White, I don't believe that he stands 10% of the stuff that he says. I believe that he knows that I can go viral once a week by saying the most high-end, outlandish shit, and I get booked for it. I get money off of this. I play and jeopardize my own life by just feeding myself, by playing with the internet. He's in the category with 6ix9ine, but I put 6ix9ine over Charleston White because 6ix9ine made a bigger impact. He had a bigger fan base, bigger social media. He reached more people. He's actually believed for a longer period of time than Charleston White was. We only believed Charleston White for the first couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, wait, this guy ain't no advocate of like just doing right and trying to help the community. He's just a wild ass guy. And then on top of that, 6ix9ine then put known people that we know about in jail, right? And came out and got right back to the same shit. So 6ix9ine to me is the leader in hip hop history of being a troll. With trolling comes that fan base, comes these skewed opinions. That's what the internet has. That's what the internet is too full of. Followers. There's only but so many leaders and so many people that can set the trend, set the narrative. The rest follow the narratives, and they will sway narratives based on what they feeling and how they hear it presented at that given moment. In battle rap, if Hitman says something about Verb, Hitman's fans are going to come and go at Verb for it. And then Verb says something, and Verb's fans are going to go troll Hitman about it, regardless of which one is saying something that doesn't even align perfectly. That's how it is, though, on the internet. 6ix9ine's wave of people going at Dirk constantly. I wouldn't have wanted to sleep through that shit knowing that I just lost my twin. That's why I set the stage earlier, trying to remind people of how big 6ix9ine was of an act in hip-hop. Let's go to this Dirk clip real quick. This is y'all may have seen it, but oh yeah.
I'm triggered by the Slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be saying Slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more.
Look at his face. Look at his mannerisms. Look at his vibe. Look at his aura.
For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
We though. We different in Iraq.
You got triggered by the Sly for Vaughn comments.
Yeah, he purposefully made that spooky. This is one thing that we're not gonna do, people. I'm a fan of Lil Durk, man. I'm not here to wish nothing on nobody negatively, man. I don't have a horse in a race, right? But one thing that we're just not gonna do, we're not gonna play stupid. We're not gonna play stupid. We're not gonna act like that clip right there and that piece right there. He's purposefully as smart as Dirk is, because if you watch the rest of this interview, I don't want to be a guy that just wants to clip somebody and make everybody focus on that. If you watch the rest of this interview, Dirk is very, very smart. He's very, very keen of being tricked off the street. He's very, very keen of people trolling him. Like there's a whole segment when academics ask him about 6ix9ine, like, yo, what's up with the beef with y'all? And the way he handles that answer is perfectly. He even when he does threaten 6ix9ine, like, oh, if I see you, I might knock your teeth out or something like that, he avoids anything that would have to do with like murder or killing or anything like that. Like he handles questions very well to not incriminate himself. And he's very, very forward thinking about trolls, the internet, people like 6ix9ine trying to trick him out of his spot, people saying things that don't hold weight, people saying things that's not true. So I'm not going to delve into it. I'm not going to let it bother me or change my day because I know it's false. That's all throughout the entire interview. I don't want to be the person that just clips him here. But I said that to now say this. He handles all those situations with a great level of awareness. But when you get to this, you are semi self-incriminating, doesn't add up. Unless I say, with this right here, it pertains to the whole topic. The pressure of Slide for Vaughn. That one right there, I just couldn't totally dance around or just totally put out a message of Slide for Vaughn. Yeah, I see them trolling me about that. I don't know nothing about that. I really don't care. I'm not trying to slide for Vaughn. He lost his life. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I have nothing to do with it. I just can't say that. That would have been a great dance, knowing that behind the scenes, possibly all these attempts that's happening on Rondo, you possibly may or may not have your hands in it, but you can't say that, I guess. He doesn't want to say that for that particular case of this interview, that particular question of this interview. For this one, he wanted the message to go out there. His mannerisms, his voice, his facial expression, the pauses, the gap in his everything. And that's why I say we're just not going to play stupid. Like if I say something like that to you about if you ask me, yo, hey, you know anything about what happened to my brother that got killed last month? Now you a homie of mine, man. You would tell me if you knew something about that, right? If I gave you an answer like this, would you walk away from that conversation looking at me sideways, or would you walk away from that conversation believing like, oh yeah, he don't know nothing about nothing? Let's be real. For this question right here, he wanted that there. It's like them situations where you're like kind of answering without answering. 100%. 100%. I don't hear them comments saying, you? Oh, must be water. Oh, anyway. Young and Ace did the same thing. Damn near the exact same thing. Actually, Young and Ace may have taken some of that same aura from like King Von interviews and Lil Durk interviews. Speaking of King Von, he did it too with all three of them. Same person in question, DJ Academics. When King Von is in the car interviewing with DJ Academics and he asks him, right, about his beef with FBG Duck and all that and people that had died. And then he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. We supposed to do music together. That shit hurt me when he died. I messed up. And then he puts the phone up so that nobody could hear and see them laughing, but it's all caught and broken down in slow motion 4K on like channels like Trap Lord Ross, where you see people in the backseat laughing, you hear the chuckling and all that in the background, right? Young and Ace, when he did his sit down after Fulio was killed with Academics, yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Everybody just stay out the streets. I mean, sometimes it happens like that if you speak about the wrong people. But The message starts with the like, I'm evading it and I'm not in it. And then you say that's what happens when. And that's the catch right there that everybody holds on to. That's the piece that sometimes people want to be picked up on right there. I could keep going. Game did it. What was it on Breakfast Club or Hot 97 after Rose Mo got killed? Right? He did the same thing on a major network telecasted radio station. Right? Rosemo got killed, bro. And what was he saying? All I know is somebody disrespect me or my child, whatever. You got X amount of hours. That's all I know. It's like, yes or no, but you need that piece to be out there because this moves me into my next chapter. The initial question that I asked a couple streams ago. If you don't do that as Young and Ace, if you don't do that as Game, when people are saying you got knocked out in the mall when you had your son with you, if you don't do that and you Lil Durk and King Von got killed, if you don't do that, what happens to you? What happens to Lil Durk? The less extreme of what happens to you actually just affects your career. I truly believe that because that's the pressure that we put on our rappers. If you're not authentic, if you're not real, if you're not living what you rap about, we're going to get you up out of here. We to the point where we ready to end your career if you get your chain snatched. That's hip hop. We got these rappers out here feeling like they got to die for their chain. You want to know why? Because your shows and your records is done. We're not buying them no more. We're not showing up to your shows no more. We're not supporting you. We don't believe you no more if somebody gets their hand on your chains. This is why when people get their chain snatched, the first thing that the people that got their chains do is come dangle them on the camera. They're trying to assassinate the character of the other person. Your chain being snatched could be career ending in hip hop. Right? So career-wise, your career could be over. Lil Durk, get it back in blood and all this. Like, caught your man, you are rapping better, get that shit in all them lyrics with Pooh Shiesty. Like, imagine a hit like that, and then people coming back and saying, "Wait a minute, this just happened. We do rap this. We was all singing this with you." What you mean? What you mean? Are you really gonna do something for Vaughn now? We didn't hear. How come we see Quando Rondo doing interviews with Angela Yee? That's literally what it be. All right. Career could literally be ended behind this shit. Now, more extreme than that to me is the people around you, the wolves around you, the gangsters around you, the killers around you, friends and family around you, because they believe you too. They believe in you as well. That gangster shit, that gangster element, them times we sitting down at the table talking about beef and old shit that we done, even back to when Lil Durk is younger. Like, I believe Lil Durk is a real street nigga, really was in shit. That video he did at the bus stop, yeah, this is a real famous bus stop and all that. And then you get to the point later on in life, now you have the money, you have the power, you have the celebrity. We done made it. Keyword we, because the people around you is like, you're there and I was with you early on, so I'm there too. We are there because Lil Durk is there. These people around you, they believe in you in a certain way. They endorse you a certain way. They back you a certain way. They throw punches for you. They beat people up at clubs for you. They react for you. They allegedly maybe even shoot for you. And here goes this high-profile King Von and the viral hashtag Slavavon, which is provoked and pushed by the biggest troll in hip-hop history. These inner circle wolves, friends and family is looking at you like, what you gonna do? I can still use the we. What we gonna do? You the leader. You gotta call the shot. Say the word. What we gonna do? We pressing, we falling back. What we gonna do? What you gonna do? What's your position? Where you stand? Are you gonna just fall back and say, listen, y'all, we made it. We here. We pick up $100,000 a show a night. We rolling in millions of dollars. I got friends of mine like OTF Jam coming home from jail. I'm in a spot where I could just give them $50,000, a car, a house, whatever. You want a chain, you want a car, you want a house, your mama needs to be taken care of here. All this type of stuff. We are so good. We made it. So we're not gonna do nothing. We're gonna listen to what they said on the podcast when we was there on $1 million worth of game with Wallow. And Wallow broke down into tears saying, the way, trust me, that shit takes black men down. It happened to me. I watched my brother die in Granny's arms, and I had to let it go. And I'm here today because I let it go. And he cried for them, saying, I know what y'all are going through right now behind King Von. You have to let it go. All right? Right? Might feel like you can't. That be the trap. That be the trap. Like, he's so forward thinking. He's so smart, Lil Durk, when I watch his interviews. So smart, so forward thinking, so street smart, so evasive. But then you're in a situation where you feel like, I have to? Or else everything that I stand for, everybody that I stand with, it's all gone. It's all done. I can literally lose my life behind this. Somebody could turn around and get mad at me one day like, yo, I thought you was this, man. The whole hood turn on you. Everybody, friends, family, baby mother walk away from everything, because that comes with pressure too. This person ain't none of that, y'all. We can't stand next to him because of this whole narrative that got set off by Slide for Vaughn. It's scary shit. I see Florida native said Tupac died over loyalty. Remember when Vlad was asking people, did Pac die a gang member? The outlaw said no, they don't believe that. You know, your comment kind of goes on the side of like, yeah, he did. Right? Yeah, Mob tatted on him, didn't he? He's running around with a certain set, wasn't he? The person that got stomped out in that casino, it was gang shit, wasn't it? So shout out to AK, member for 13 months, over a year. Says, I appreciate the steady content, and AK, I appreciate you being a supporter and a member of the channel, man. I really appreciate you, homie. You are one of the biggest supporters of the Sorry It's True podcast and movement. I'll forever appreciate that, homie. But Slide for Vaughn, man, and 6ix9ine. I had to. I warned y'all. I warned y'all that you read a title like this and you join the stream. I'm pretty sure for the first 5 minutes you're like, this is clickbait. Oh, here go. What is he doing? This is bullshit. I really believe it. If you listen to the opinions that I just laid out, I really believe it. Because I think just that fast, we forget how big of a moment 6ix9ine had, even when he came home. And for him to constantly push that, and then we see how smart Dirk is, but for those particular answers in this interview, it's like he's stuck there. I have to do this. I have to show this. I have to notify people that Slide for Vaughn shit I gotta stand on. Scary shit, man.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.